Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Battle Chef Brigade. Yeah, it's been a while since I last played. I think we were about to sleep. Let's just double check and make sure that we were about to sleep and we're not gonna somehow be allowed to waste an entire day.
Everyone's cuisines are so different here. I'm going to have to give it everything I've got to make mine stand out.
I've been trying to work on several other little projects and scheduling YouTube videos, and so I've gotten a little distracted from this game. Also, this game certainly doesn't have the greatest of appeal to just keep you playing because it's so long and drawn out. And it does seem like this game is using
and Simon would know what to do. They'd have a joke ready and everything.
like it seems to be using almost 1.5 gigs of RAM, which doesn't really make sense. Yeah, it seems like it's quite a lot of RAM usage for what's being shown here and what's being done. Here we have the story mentioning Kiki and Simon. I will have to think about who Kiki and Simon even are. I think Kiki was her big sister, which they haven't talked about in 3 or 4 hours. And we were supposed to be writing them every day, and there's no indication that that's happening at all. And certainly, writing every day could have been a way of ending the day and showing like some gameplay results in the form of her writing a letter, and also potentially her just ensuring and showing that the game was saving and making checkpoint saves. Simon is, I suppose, the male friend, although seems like he can't really be a romantic interest or anything because he's totally out of the picture. There's this new phrase I've heard called kinetic visual novels, in the sense that they don't have branching paths. And in a lot of ways, this feels like a game like that.
Instructor, good morning.
It's weird the instructor seems to only really talk to you or instruct you once every few days. That they seem to leave you fairly alone. And I'm not gonna harp on the fact that they're always wearing the exact same clothes, like all the characters are wearing the exact same clothes, but it is something to point out, I think, in lots of games that is the case.
Am I in trouble?
You shouldn't be in trouble. If anything, you should be on your way to winning the tournament. You weren't eliminated. You haven't lost at all.
Is that what you think just from me showing up? I'm checking in with all the contestants.
I'm sorry. Well, I have 3 wins on my belt now. Just 4 more to go.
So, at a certain point here, all I need to do is get 2 more wins, and then I could totally screw up on the last 2 battles, and I still would win the tournament or pass the proving tournament, because you needed 3 losses to be eliminated. This isn't a tournament where you inherently want to get, or you inherently have to get first position. Although perhaps the story is going to force you to get first position, and maybe it would just game over and reset you if you lost. I imagine even if you do lose, though, you will suffer some small amount because you probably won't get a reward item, and I suspect when we're done with the proving tournament, we won't get any reward items anymore at all.
I've heard. Once you've completed that, you're cleared for the proving tournament's ultimate feat, Robichon's trial.
Now they're throwing in something new they didn't explain before.
The 3-round gauntlet against the Brigade's most talented chefs? I've been dreaming of it all my life.
Well, somebody should have mentioned this. For as many conversations have happened in this game that don't matter, why not people talk about or at least casually mention Robichon's trial before this point?
Are you prepared to face the final 3?
Thinking about it just gives me chills.
I believe in you. Just keep working hard, Pumpkin. I've got others to see, but good luck today.
Thank you, ma'am.
See, and this is kind of one of those Iron Chef inherently unfair scenarios where you probably you're highly unlikely as a novice to be able to beat 3 of the most skilled chefs or competitors in any tournament.
Hey.
You're bluffing, I can tell whenever you start to bubble more. Glub glub. Oh, come on, Jelly. You may be transparent, but you gotta work on your poker face. So, this guy's just playing like poker or something with his friends. The dwarf guy is missing. Let's do the puzzles. That was a hamburger.
Goldie, stop fighting with your sister this instant.
The kittens seem extra rowdy today. Is something going on?
Oh, Kieran just gave him a new toy. She means well, but now I have to deal with the mayhem. You might be on your own today. I've got to separate these wrestlers.
So they're just writing excuses to not have dialogue.
Count on me, sir.
Alright. I'm sure you know all about ovens, but when you're in a duel, it's tough to remember anything. So when you've got multiple dishes to make, remember to start one in the oven immediately. I wish I had an oven for yesterday's 2-judge duel. I don't know anything about ovens. What does an oven do? Why is the oven on top like it's a oven on a wok? I've never even seen a device like this. So ovens just straight up bring up the high quality to your thing. They're just really slow. That's makes sense. That totally makes sense. And here we have a goal of just getting 30 score as quickly as, although, well, no, you don't even really have to do it quickly, do you? Like, you can really just take your sweet time. Okay. So that's a 40 and a 50. So then what we need to do is pick up this and add it to this? Interesting. Nicely done. Why don't you take that oven with you? I've got a spare in the back that I can use. I'll just need to clean out the cat hair. So now we have a slow cooker that works on top of a like gas wok countertop. Slowly promotes taste gems. And in the meantime, while it's slowly promoting the taste gems, it is now up to 150. Thanks, Belchior. I sure hope he remembers to clean that oven out. Alright. This one's easy, just debone it first. No problem. I guess this is what the cutting board is for. Alright, so you take this, you put it here, you cut out, and then you have to top. Ooh, no. Let's reset that. You take this, you put it on the cutting board, then you press X, then you highlight what you want to do to get rid of an item. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and do the same here. Well, I have to admit that this is kind of ridiculous that it's taken this long to get to this, but it's gotten to this. Alright, so what I need to do, this is gonna be silly, certainly, is I need to get rid of this, I think. But that would lower the score. So I should probably just get rid of this. Alright. And then add. And so I just needed to make room. And now what we want to do is we can add a green and a red on as far as slime sauce, and we need to get to 75. So the first thing to do is to do this and do the very best job we can with items. Alright, now I could turn one red into a red, which that won't do anything. But then I need a blue to turn into a green. Alright, so put that there, then add the slime sauce here, and then stir. And then put that there. Nope, it's a little bit more complicated than that. Okay. Well, I can't imagine that the idea is to not make a match here. Or make a match here. Because that would just be silly to do anything else. And then when we add this, it's red and green. So, I want to get the green to the top tier. So, that clearly isn't one of the things we want to change. So I think you get rid of the blue. And let's swap these two like this and see if the sauce will maintain the level. That way a second tiered blue turns into a second tier of red. Because, yeah, that looks like that did work. Okay. There we go. So you had to get that one perfectly suited. That was a real puzzle.
Another successful day. Thank you for your help, Mina.
Yeah, and at a certain level, instead of just having 3 puzzles per day, I kind of feel like I would like to just have 100 puzzles that I could go through in a run, and if I wanted to, and grind through that.
Always a pleasure.
How's it going, Leonid? Very well. I hope to earn my 3rd win soon. I'm thinking of challenging Thrash next. He's a fiery guy, so be careful. Outside of battle, he's just a big softy though, haha. I heard he has a family back home, is that true? Yeah, why do you ask? I can only imagine being so far away from your family for this long must be very hard. You don't have anyone waiting for you back home? No, but don't feel bad for me. My love is my work. I know how you feel. Growing up, a lot of free time was spent cooking while all the other kids were out playing. Yes, I regret it a little bit, but I suppose the time we've invested has paid off. See, that I would almost think that this is a society that would be almost obsessed with cooking. And personally, I think in the real world and in this universe, it would make a lot of sense that every person would be able to cook at least to a decent level, familiar with things like slow cookers at the least, instead of our main character learning this right now which of course the game has to explain it to the player. I hope so. Going home without achieving anything would be the worst. Just keep trying to do your best. You too. Thanks, Leonid. Now, if only you could decide whether to get these pickled lava peppers are a good investment or not.
Welcome to our store. Make yourself at home.
Hey Mina, I think you'll find today's items particularly cool. If not, I'll eat my belt. That's not necessary, please don't. Thank you, Mina. If you're big on reading, unlike my brother here, we've got several fascinating tomes. Lewis is the bookworm, but even I know they can give you an edge in battle. Awesome, I'll check them out. So we might as well just check out the shop. Right now we can't afford anything, and a lot of this is stuff that has just been left over. Let's see, serve a dish that contains at least one ingredient per monster in the region. That would be a little too difficult. And they have 1+ in front of them, so I assume they give you the same bonus. And then when you have... now we have some apprentice level items, like serve a dish that was sauced 3 times, which that seems very difficult. And then the cutting board is clearly the thing we need to buy. Let's go do the hunt and get some more money. There was another hamburger.
Did you kill all those monsters by yourself?
Just a pile of monsters.
This lot. These are just the leftovers. I've sent the rest as a gift.
Is she sending it back to whoever dumped him? Interesting, the story just ends there. Alright, hunt any monsters. And we are in a different area. And it would have totally made more sense to... Let's see. It totally would have made more sense for them to make sure that they had us running around this area in areas like this first, because this really does seem silly to have seen this 5 hours into the game. I mean, this could have easily been added in the first hour. What happens if I fall in the lava? You take damage and you bounce back. Good to know. So, this was a careful place to check this out. And our biggest character here would be this. And you can kind of attack to get yourself upward. But there's seemingly nothing up here. Unless we get to a point where these areas double.
Instructor, maybe you should go next door and visit Belchior. Spending time with his cats could be good for you.
You want me to end up like that old fart smothered in cats?
Maybe you'd prefer being surrounded by living things instead of...
How dare you insult my collection? You have no idea how hard I fought to earn these trophies.
She's sitting in that chair very oddly. They should have animated her a little bit better. The lower spine pain she would be in would be incredible. Like, I know she's supposed to be slouched in the chair, but there's a disconnect here with the height of the arms. They really should be about a centimeter higher. That way she could be a little bit slouched, but not basically having the edge of sitting on the edge of the seat and probably 5 seconds away from falling out. Neither of her feet are flat on the ground, and her legs are crossed on top of that. Like, this would be an incredibly painful way to sit. You could potentially sit like something like this, but I still don't think that well. If you were sitting in a deep sunken in like sofa, that had just a ton of not a sofa, but a like sofa chair that was really padded and really sunken in, but not this. And it does kind of have this weird throne-like appearance that if you were going for that throne-like appearance, you would expect her to sit a little bit higher. And see, I don't get to get back to the story. I don't get the point of potentially having a relationship develop into an argument. Like, it just is seemingly trying to beat you over the head with the idea that Thorn as a character is thorny as a personality.
I'm deeply sorry. I didn't mean to.
And here you have Mina trying to be helpful, but also being a wimp.
Leave. When you return next, you had better come with more respect.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
Yeah, I don't see the point of that story unless you're trying to say that this is going to end up with you not being able to do hunts anymore. And I think that would be a huge mistake to eliminate hunts from the game, since it's a major gameplay element.
Let's talk.
Here we have a dog just sitting next to Thrash. Yeah, this little guy is the best. Do you have any pets? We have a cat back at home, but he's a terror. He always knocks cookware over, then hides behind my sister. No pets for me. 2 kids are enough trouble. But I can enjoy this guy while I'm here. Who's a good pup? Maybe I'll get a dog one day. We could go practice. It would be interesting to see where the practice really led you. Until next time, Tita. Take care. Hey mister, looks like you're finally having a good day. You. Don't be so nosy. So apparently he's got a crush on the restaurant lady, which makes sense. They both look like they might be dwarven. No way, it's a love note written on a crescent receipt. It must be for Pontita. So I guess the idea is you could have potentially done the restaurant section first and not move this side story.
Give it all away to find the love who will stand by your side.
And she's singing, and it just kind of would be nice if everything was voiced. Yeah, there is that problem when you have the rest of the story having to read it in your head, and then you have an outstanding singing section that stands out and highlights the fact that you have to read so much.
You have a beautiful voice.
Oh, thank you, recruit. Don't think I'll let you slack off because I'm in a good mood.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Alright, so we need to figure out how to do this way quicker, otherwise I'm going to really mess up things.
So good. Delicious.
Let's see. It's kind of hard to focus on doing anything or saying anything here. Oh, come on. How are you supposed to solve that as an issue? That's hard.
Oh, this is perfect.
Darn it. Wow, what? I really didn't have time there. I ran out of time really fast.
Pontita's been so happy.
But that gave me 20 coins, and the last time I got like 15 coins. And I messed up pretty badly there. And I feel like I kind of messed up pretty badly there this time also. So it really doesn't seem like you get much of a variety depending on how well you do anything. Pontita's been so happy today, and that's the most I've ever gotten out of Caesar. Pontita.
Yes? Should I give it to her? I think they might actually be good for each other. I just wanted to say thanks for this opportunity.
Now see, they're not popping up a choice to give or not give.
You're welcome, Mina. Now get out of here, recruit. You've worked hard enough for today.
It's not my secret to tell.
So yeah, you can't even choose. This really does feel like a kinetic visual novel, in the sense that there's just nothing there. Alright, and the practice, ooh, you can't even run further. Practice is still the same area over here. And if you leave the dragon alone, he won't even attack you. Oh yeah, I forgot I got the double jump. Which, yeah. So it feels like it should have been your ability to practice in many different areas. That should have been a default thing. Okay. Well, first things first. We've got to buy a cutting board. And we also got the slow oven cooker. And then that leaves us let's see. What would be something even worth buying? I don't think there is anything worth buying here. Because these salts and peppers, I think, are one-time items. But I kind of feel like I need to buy something just to test it. Let's see, let's hit the loadout button. So either we're gonna get really messed up here, or we're gonna get really lucky. We also haven't really gotten any other item besides the slow cooker. So themes monster. Same ingredient 5 times. Alright, so then the question becomes, who have we fought before and who have we not? We can't challenge this guy. We could challenge Thrash. We can challenge this guy. The innkeeper is not even here. Let's just challenge this guy. Would you please do me the honor of a door? Puff puff. Come on. You aren't afraid of me. Ha, cough. I don't feel like wasting my time. How can the next generation improve if you're content on sitting on your butt smoking a pipe and throwing around insults all day? You brought it on yourself. Leave your sleeping dragon be. Well, I hear you only need one more win on your belt, and so do I. How about this? If you win, I'll pretend you don't exist and can keep on going being a grump sitting in the alley. Man, I cannot read. But if you win, you gotta try to be nicer to people. Not very good at bargaining, are you, Sai? I'll take you on if it'll get you off my case, don't say I didn't warn you. Yeah, we have no idea what the next battle is going to be. And I guess there's a question here. Yeah, double jump still does feel like it's right.
Fine.
So, if I need 4 more victories, is this the last time I get to challenge somebody and then I have to fight the 3 chef people, who seems like we've probably seen all 3 of the 3 master chefs that we're going to fight as judges. So I don't know who the new judges would be.
Welcome once again to the most invigorating exhibition of culinary excellence in all of Victusia.
Suppose it's worth mentioning that the actor in Iron Chef America who plays the character that this guy is parodying is just an actor and has since been spotted in several TV shows.
Yesterday we mourned with contestants
Although
who suffered their
it
second
also
loss,
wouldn't
and
make
cheered those who dazzled our
too
judges'
much
persnickety palates.
of a weird experience if he actually was, if the actor actually was somehow related to the original Iron Chef guy and he just became an actor after the point.
Like the pounding tides of the Silian Sea, the iron stomach seems unstoppable.
I don't even think that these little intros would have changed if I had lost.
Mina.
I think the game is probably just gonna game over you and you have to have won
Our next
every
contestant
challenge.
declined to provide a title, saying, "I don't need a fancy title to make great food."
I assume he's an earth cook, and we'll see what we're actually gonna cook today. I have no idea. I could only venture a guess that it's probably gonna be like maybe water and something else.
I present Caesar. Caesar.
Yeah,
Today,
it does
these
feel
chefs
like
seek to please 2 of the
it
sharpest
probably
minds
does
our
just
age.
force you to
The first I'm proud
win all
present
the
is
challenges
Instructor
as a way of
Brigade.
stretching the game out.
At ease, Chairman. You are no longer a student of mine, after all. My attention is focused solely on the techniques of these chefs.
So it's going to be something and earth, water and earth, I imagine.
Be careful not to oversaturate today's dish with bold flavors. Doing so will bury the intoxicating crispness of water.
So she wants a water
The next
dish.
judge is the famed Grand Matriarch Asgil.
With the cutting board now, I can fix problems that I've had in the past, but that would also lower the value of my food.
With each challenge that passes, these chefs reveal more of themselves through their creations. I look forward to learning more today. Foraging for ingredients is a vital skill. So today, I ask you to scour the Skylands for a bit of earth to ground your dish.
So are we going to be in the Skylands area again?
This Skylands delicacy used to be so rare that it was exclusively eaten by royalty. Even now, collection requires a chef with sharp eyes and the speed of a tempest. Wind fruit!
Okay. So there's only wind fruit.
Vive la Brigade!
That's going to be really easy. So we're going to go out here. And we're going to jump. And I'm going to want to pick up this. And I don't know if I really need that. That's gnocchi fruit. There we go. Okay, 2 wind fruit are not really worth the time. Okay. So, what do we want to do is probably cook a wind fruit this way, and then let's start with a wind fruit this way, and then gnocchi fruit here, gnocchi fruit here, and we can just go ahead and jump out here some more, and we'll get some. Nah, that's not good meat. Let's see if we can find something better. Okay. And let's see. Gnocchi fruit here. Gnocchi fruit here. Gnocchi fruit here. Gnocchi fruit there. Oh, I forgot to turn that on. Oops. Oh, I've messed this up fairly badly, I think. Right. Because you want earth, and we've got just all this fire going on. Okay. Let's see, how can we do this so that we have any kind of possibility of fixing this? Let's
Energy.
see.
Where did I put that blasted
Iceberg, turn it.
Do you need help looking for it? I'm happy to
And
come over and...
Stay where you are.
Or I could just stay here.
Let's see. Fire. Fire. There we go. There we go. Alright, what are we trying to do here? Because I need tons of blue. Watery sauce. There we go. Do that. Can we stir any? Nope. Okay. So we have 100 dish of watery, and now we just need more earth. We have a minute 52 here. Alright, well, this is, let's just take this and let's see what we want to get rid of then. We could get rid of that, and that. What if we were to take this, put this here, take this, put this here, start this cooking. Alright, I've got a minute now we have like a 100 dish that I don't feel like I can really do anything else with. So here's your dish of 100, a very low score. And then when we cook this, we can merge those two together. And that's like a 91 dish. I've really screwed this up. So I had plenty of time left over and very, very low scores. I should have gotten more ingredients, and I should have cooked faster and harder and better and known the ingredients I was supposed to cook. It also looks like I've made exactly the same dish for both people, whereas our competitors made completely different dishes. So unless the game, this is going to be a great experience of just the game potentially cheating in your favor. So he made a dragon shank meatball. Where did he get the dragon? Served in Verskit blood and gnocchi fruit medley. He has 114. The brightness of the water is really coming through. I was too careful about not having other ingredients. This attempt is very good, but the execution leaves something to be desired. Keep practicing. I wonder if that's going to reduce it from 114. No, it just doesn't give them any more. So unless I get a major business build up here, wind fruit fried rice with a side of watery sauce. That gives me 100. That gives, and then a bonus of 50. You've captured the essence of the watery flavor without your dish becoming overly complex. Okay, see, I think the game is cheating. It's gotta be cheating. And then he has a king bean moussaka topped with an amarok heart and iceberg turnip assortment. I don't know what a moussaka is. It kind of looks like a lasagna. So that the earth is both pure and beautiful and complex and well done. And that turned his 50 dish. Yeah, they definitely are cheating in your favor here. At least on normal mode. It bonused his 50 dish to 108. There's nothing technically wrong with this dish, but it lacks heart. Remember your reason for entering the proving tournament and use that to fuel your craft. So he's got 222. And then I gave wind fruit fried rice served with gnocchi fruit and iceberg turnip medley. Yeah, it really does feel like everything Mina cooks is very Asian inspired. Earth is a perfect stabilizer. You've captured it beautifully in this dish, and that bonuses me up to a 141, which is an odd number certainly, but it also, we already know we're at 291, so we've won. There's no shame in creating a dish of this quality. I respect your effort.
It seems no iron skillet can stand up to the might of the iron stomach.
And I guess what we're going to run into is a scenario when we have a third person that it is just going to be a whole lot of work to make sure you focus on cooking 3 dishes at once.
Mina wins.
Or just a lot of bumbling. It does seem like you can kind of just bumble through all these battles. And then at a certain point, then I don't know why this is even an interactive experience, and this isn't just like that anime out there. I think it's called Taste of the Gods, but that could be a different anime I'm thinking of. There's definitely a cooking anime that is a parody of Iron Chef, and it is all about highlighting the flavors and tastes of food, or at least in part is about that. It feels very much like that's the experience we're having, because while there are little gameplay puzzle mechanics here, There seems to be no penalty really for doing it wrong. There seems not to really be any variety in being able to choose what you're going to cook. If this was a real cooking experience, you would almost certainly have to name and say what you were going to cook in the first place. The Iron Chef series, they do ask them what they're planning on cooking in the first couple of minutes, and you do see the chefs often write down their ideas, and things may change in the process of developing it, the dishes, but there is a start, whereas we have no idea what we're going to cook or what we are cooking even until the very end. Grr.
Natural thought, sir.
Can it?
We had a deal. I'm starving. Want to go grab a bite at Crescent?
This wasn't part of the deal.
You're hungry too. I heard your stomach rumbling earlier.
So we become friends with him, whether he likes it or not.
Fine. And here. It was my daughter's from when she was little. But I have no use for it. It would suit you better.
So he must be pretty old, which with that long beard that you would assume he's might be old, but he's a dwarf, so I wouldn't be surprised if dwarfs can be fairly young with long beards.
Thank you. So, you have a daughter? What's she like?
Quiet.
It'd be weird to hold on to a daughter's like treasured item as like a memento and then just immediately hand it over because you're defeated.
Is that a description or a command?
Yes.
So we now have the Stoic Pan. Well, his daughter must have not been that young. Given to you by Caesar the Grumpy Dwarf. Dwarven magic allows 4 matched 1 taste gems to produce 1 level 3 taste gem. Interesting. And that's what I thought was going to happen eventually, but I didn't realize we had to beat that specific guy to get that specific item. I thought you would have been more guaranteed to collect that.
I should probably get some dinner, but I just want to sleep. Huh? What's going on over there?
And here these are getting shorter and shorter each day, which is probably a good idea. But it seems like we're going to have some more story.
Admit it. Your family donates to Judge Meridane's Academy. She gave you a free pass on that win.
So it seems like the character Shiv, who I guess is a girl? I thought it was a guy. Whatever. I thought it was a girl, then I thought it was a guy, now I think it's a girl again. Shiv must have been eliminated.
If you actually knew anything about me or my family, you'd know that couldn't be farther from the truth.
So we're getting backstory kind of on secondary characters who may play a bigger role later on, but I'm not sure. See, the only thing I could think is that this could be the beginning of a first act where all the people we challenge now become a fighting troop against some war that it starts up, and thus there's this kind of like World War I solidarity tale that it would try to tell. But I have no faith in the writers of this game to be able to tell a story like that.
Just how many of your royal family members are in the brigade? It's obvious nepotism.
And here we have a lot of characters getting special extra poses, and the character on the left once again being animated in a way that they're showing their backside more than their front side.
If you have an issue, bring it up with the tournament committee. I'm sure they'll find your accusations to be baseless.
Yeah, another I turned my back on you pose. And Shiv has got like 2 swords on her belt, so I wouldn't turn my back to her.
Run away like the cheat you are.
This was your 3rd loss. You're out of the competition. Learn to take that in stride. You can always try again another year.
Yeah. And for any tournament tale, it might be interesting to find like an old man who has entered the tournament every year and lost every year, and this is his last chance because he's going to retire. He's too old. Or someone who just enters the tournament every year expecting to lose just for fun. Those would be interesting character stories to tell. Although, I don't know if tournaments as a background motivator are interesting stories in general. They tend to only exist, mostly in anime in particular, as a way of not having to write any story and just justifying a lot of conflict. Otherwise you would have to write characterizations and conflict around.
Why you?
See, she is gonna try and stab her in the back.
Mina.
Oh, and apparently she has angel wings all of a sudden.
You cut my hand!
Well, Mina's chosen a side.
I'm sorry, but you were about to hurt my friend.
We need to get an officer. Can anyone help us?
So all of a sudden now Mina may get thrown out of the tournament and thrown in jail for assault, or Shiv may get thrown in jail. Like, both could be true, although in the end it is Shiv that's the injured party here.
Oh goodness, I told you something terrible was brewing in town.
What happened here?
And is Roselle a new character, or is she the instructor? Because she kind of looks like the instructor in a different outfit.
She just threw her dagger at me! I was aiming for your skewer. It was an accident. You raised your weapon and...
It looks to be only a scratch. Let's get that wrapped up. The three of you come with me.
I've got a medical kit at the inn.
What are you all standing around for? Move along! Now! I see. Shiv, you come from an honorable lineage as well. There's no need to throw dirt on Kieran's family.
See, this is weird story for a game that I don't think the Kickstarter backers would have wanted this, frankly. Like, I just want cooking minigame puzzles and high action, running around, killing creatures, getting food, and then mixing them into interesting dishes. So why am I doing a kinetic visual novel here where all of a sudden my character has gotten wrapped up in a assault?
Your great-grandmother is the fabled Kiln, isn't she? Uniting the orc tribes by way of her cross-culture cuisine.
This is very ham-fisted way of giving backstory to Shiv.
She'd be ashamed of your attitude throughout this competition.
Of course, taking Kieran's side.
It seems to me that the only one who expected an easy win based on their background is you. The fact remains, contestants are not allowed to draw weapons on one another in town. It's a designated safe zone.
Wait a minute. So outside of town and during the battle, I could have been attacking the other guy? Could I literally have been running to the right and just throwing daggers at him? That seems like a ridiculous rule to have, and it really doesn't feel like it's in the idea of a cooking battle.
In accordance with Article 7 of the Proving Tournament Rules, you are hereby expelled from the competition for 2 years.
What? This is bull.
And see, now what would be funny is if this is the exact same thing that happens to Kieran. Mina, the character we're playing as.
As for you, Mina, even though you tried to protect Kieran, you also broke the rules.
Yeah, I would imagine she's just going to apply the same rule. Maybe she'll go a little bit generous and only expel you for 1 year.
You've injured Shiv's hand. And just think if your dagger had missed and hit a townsperson.
Or missed and killed Shiv.
I'm sorry, instructor.
You should have gotten an officer to handle the situation. You too must be expelled for endangering the people around you.
Is this the only way? Although I understand the seriousness of the situation, I don't think Shiv or Mina truly meant any serious harm.
Now, this would be weird if Kieran actually convinces her to change her judgment. It does then imply Kieran does have some pull.
Tensions were high. Threats were made.
Kieran, say your farewells to them. They're expected to leave tomorrow morning.
Mina, I'm so sorry. Listen, everything is going to work out. Don't give up. Mina?
And wow, that is like all of chapter 2. It's been just a ridiculously long experience, and I hope that there are only 6 chapters in the entire game, because otherwise this is like a 200-hour game for no reason. Not 200 hours, but like a 60-hour game. So I would call that Act 2, and I don't really know what even Act 1 was, other than it probably was just that initial tutorial at the very beginning. And I assume with Act 3, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up playing as a different character completely, with a different cooking style. Which, I don't know, like, so that is a whole week.
Can't you give her another day to take it easy? She's heartbroken.
They skipped. Alright, we're still playing as Mina. I thought maybe we would have jumped to a different character.
Mina needs to keep working. She has the same spirit I had at her age, including my weakness.
I'm standing right here, you two. Sorry, Mimi. I tried. Why don't you go on restocking duty? I can peel the potatoes.
That's a potato? With a smiley face on it?
I'd rather peel the potatoes.
I think some exercise would be good for you. Get some fresh air.
All right, fine.
Be quick about it. The restaurant is opening in just a moment. And I don't want you to use any wind magic or daggers. It's ruining the backyard.
Go wild. The only thing ruining the backyard is all the monsters piling up since we haven't had your combat skills to help us.
Saskia!
What? It's true. Let loose, Mimi.
So we're supposed to fill the pantry. Can I do any attacks without using daggers, really, though? Like... So we'll get some eggs, and we'll go ahead and get the birds. See, I don't see the point here of this tutorial. Like, this is just stuff we've done before, and it's not like we would have forgotten that. And we have kind of interesting music, but what's the point of this? It does just kind of feel like you're going in circles for no reason. You can even overfill the pantry. Yeah, I don't get this. Like, if this was a show, that this would make sense as something interesting to happen. But as a game, it just seems kind of ridiculous. The only thing I could think is that this is going to now pivot you into, instead of continuing the tournament, going somewhere else to become a battle chef for perhaps even a different country, or a different tournament. That's the only thing that would really make sense to me. it definitely feels like what happened here, and I'm speculating a lot on how the process of the Kickstarter went, but it does feel like there was either a concept in the minds of the writer to have this happen as the act change, or this was a suggested twist to have in the story that either the Kickstarter people suggested or liked in theory, but in practicality, in an actual video game format, it just feels very weird and not like something that you normally would have happen. See, I just don't know where I'm even going to be able to save.
Order up 2 bao run noodle, 1 mapo tofu.
That's all you, Mina. I gotta run the tables.
Okay, I have no idea how to do any of that. Oh, this is one of those puzzles. Okay, well, I can do that much.
Oh, excellent.
See, I don't even know how you're supposed to pull this one off.
Delicious.
See. So yeah, we're just into the restaurant part, and I could definitely see how, if you particularly weren't very good at the restaurant part of the tutorial part, then I could see how you would not particularly have a fun time with this experience. All right. So I would need this to move out of the way.
Simon's on his way with another delivery. He's late.
And we're just getting more story, and there's just a lot of background music at this point, just constantly playing.
Sorry, Mrs. Hahn. Our farm got attacked by a bow run, and the barn almost toppled over. Pops took care of it, though.
So this does bring back the sister and the parents and Simon.
I'm glad you're both all right.
But I don't know if this is somehow going to then magically like move the story forward, where that was the end of Mina's journey. Mina gets married to Simon, has a kid, and then we're a whole generation further. That would be kind of ridiculous, because all those characters that we had a few conversations with and we're starting to get to know and possibly even like would then get wiped away.
Thanks. I thought I was gonna be a kebab.
So,
hey Mina, got anything new for me to try today?
I just don't get why you would put such a speed bump in your story.
Oh, hey. No, just the usual.
I guess perhaps what could have happened here is that if you had failed any of the challenges up until this point, you would have speeded into this section, and the best case scenario is what happened.
Mina, why don't you help Simon move the satchels into the cellar?
Unless there was just a secret here where if I had done better in the previous battles and had higher scores, I would have had a better blade throwing ability and not scratched her hand.
Let's go.
This whole thing just feels depressive.
That grain? About a word, huh?
And it feels repetitive, like they just wanted to reuse these backgrounds, they wanted to reuse these characters.
A sound? I don't even think I've heard you sneeze since you've been back.
What's there to talk about?
What is there to talk about? Like, a million different things. Like, how come no one has bothered to mention that the guy Saskia started dating needs to chew with his mouth closed?
Don't be mean. Saskia's happy. Alex is a nice guy.
Wait a minute, so has her sister dumped, like, the person she was dating before, and she's on to the next guy over the course of this story? Or are they talking about the same guy? Because they definitely seemed like they were trying to push her to get married off. And it seemed like she was planning on getting married. So I don't know if there was a whole, like, subplot there that they intended.
laid a little bit neater.
Oh, there you go.
I feel like they should probably rib her a little bit or yell at her. But she came back certainly as a failure, so they probably are holding their tongues. But remember, she did just kind of secretly run away to go to this tournament without telling her parents and left the parents high and dry.
Look at you using words and talking. You are alive.
Barely. I'm grounded for life. I'm going to be in that kitchen cooking the same things until I die.
The problem with this sentence in particular is she was kind of cooking the same things, even in the tournament.
I can forget about seeing
just
beyond
a
this
total
village ever again.
lack of variety in her ability, or in how the game depicts her ability.
Well, now never mind.
Like, the only thing you could do here is break out in war right now and just have them call in and ask for everybody to join the brigade without taking part of the tournaments.
What is it?
You could always run away again. Next year.
Oh, please. Like my mom would ever let me slip by again.
Here's a interesting pose. Like, she's looking forward directly to the screen, which, yeah, you don't look at the camera in film. Usually you do something in at least a slight profile. And certainly when you're animating a character, having them look directly forward to the screen is not an angle that you would have been particularly best to use, because it doesn't really accentuate the angles as nicely as you might think it would. You can see the way they've drawn her. She has this very hourglass figure with a smaller waist than I would have thought from all the other angles we've seen.
Staying here isn't so bad, is it? You can still test your experiments on me. I don't mind.
I'm the Iron Stomach, remember?
See, now when she's at a slight angle, she looks much more realistic.
I know you're upset, but there's still so much here for you. The restaurant, your family, the old man shouting at the windmills every morning.
There is kind of a split here where I could see the idea of emphasizing that cooking, for the most part, is always a service, and it's in a weird way kind of an act of love, either for an act of love for humanity or for your family or your friends, depending on who you're cooking for. And that you're never really in a good position if you're cooking just as a job, or if you're cooking out of spite. That food is not going to come out well. And that is certainly something Mina is not seeing in her desires to be a cook. Her desires are clearly to just get away from her family, get away from her life, get away from the small rural area she lives in, get away from Simon, even if she doesn't intend to do that. She is doing that, getting away from her sister. And it's not like she even made new friends or did a great job of making new friends in the new city. She did a little bit of that, but you don't see her saying, "Oh, I miss all my new friends, and I was having such a great time, and I loved cooking for the judges." You just see her mostly implying that she's upset that she lost her opportunity to get away, and that's really no way to live your life in general, is just to always be running away from things, because you'll just find the next thing you don't like that you want to get away from. You should be running towards things, or at least appreciating the things that are around you.
You don't get it at all. Just because you're satisfied with being stuck here doesn't mean that I am. I gotta get back to the house. Simon was just trying to help. I shouldn't have blown up on him.
This is a terrible animation. Actually, it's a much nicer animation. So perhaps we've hit a point where they fired the other animator, and now we have a new animator. and he has gone and traced the bedroom at the inn and made it her bedroom in her house. In a weird way, it almost screams that there's just a standard design in this world of how all bedrooms are designed, where the bed is always to the left of the screen. There's always a foot locker. There's always a side table. There's always a dresser. There's always a secretariat, or whatever you would want to call that, in the lower right corner. And then but yeah, he's mostly just traced over the previous image, and that seems unnecessary. That implies to me what they wanted you to do is you would have to save at the secretariat in the lower right hand corner. You would perhaps have costumes at the dresser. You would have items for your loadout in the foot locker. And this room would have been just like your main menu room. But even though this is better drawn slightly and not that light pastel look, it's still not as nice, or not. It's not animated in a style that I typically would appreciate.
It's a good village. It's a good restaurant. I've got my family and Simon.
So she seems to be realizing some of that.
Maybe I don't deserve to be here. I'm so sorry, everyone.
And see, I'm still not sure if the door is closed. I don't think I could sleep in a room with a door that it was open. Seems fairly ridiculous. And then it's going to skip several days forward.
We should be thriving from the flow of travelers to and from the capital, but we're getting some unpleasant feedback lately.
And I guess that's where we're going to have to end this recording. Just kind of abruptly, sorry, but it has been an hour and 12 minutes. We may find that all of Chapter 3 is just this, where we will have to run the restaurant and we'll get little trickles of a backstory happening where the monsters are just getting stronger and they need all the fighters they can get, and or they're going to war with another country. And then that at the final point we may have the judge or our trainers or our friends show up and recruit you and say we need your help, and that'll be the end of Act 3, Chapter 3. And then I wouldn't be surprised if Chapter 4 is the beginning of some kind of training where you're actually in the brigade, but you have to be trained and work your way up. That ends in like one big boss battle, and then Chapter 5 might be something different, and then Chapter 6 might be the final boss battle. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to break up, but that would be my thought, certainly, around that. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. This game is still going very slowly. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.